Hey y'all, welcome to our podcast. I'm your host, Marnisa Shorter.
And I'm Larry, and this is the Short Talk Podcast where we talk about love, relationship, and marriage and keeping the conversation about it
Short. All right, y'all. So, thank y'all so much for tuning in to our very first episode. We're so excited to get started. We have been wanting to do this for a really long time now, and so it's really good to see it come into light. Babe, how you feeling about it?
I'm feeling good right now. A lot of hard work to get here, but we made it.
Yeah, we definitely made it. So, basically, in this first episode, we're going to talk to y'all about why we wanted to do a podcast, what's our goal for this podcast, and what we see in the future by doing this.
Of course, we definitely feel a void that need to be met out there that we can actually help beginning couples and couples, married couples right now that just try to get over a couple humps they may be going through right now. What about you?
Yeah, I'm really excited to get started. Obviously, we chose to do a podcast because it's one way that we can give our point of view of what a relationship is going into marriage and what a marriage is. And so we decided to do it so we can be very transparent and be open and show who we are and what we've been through and let people see that you can still make it and get through things.
Of course, because not every time, all times going to be good times. Sometimes you're going to go through bad times. You're going to go through some really bad times. But as long as you keep God first, working with each other, you're going to get there. Trust me.
Definitely, yeah. So to piggyback off of that, we've been married 11 years today. Yeah, shout out to that.
Yep.
11 years.
11 years.
Yeah, we got married really young, but we have grown up together. We've learned a lot together, and we've been able to be open with each other and communicate more along the way within our marriage to continue to grow.
Yeah, because, you go through stepping stones. Like my wife said, we definitely got married young. So it's a lot of things we didn't know that we definitely know now. And, some of the info we got early was helpful, but it was some things we had to walk through to learn on our own. So just thank God that we made it here, man, because it's definitely a struggle. It's a job, like they say. But, you hate to use that word, but it's definitely a job, but, it's a good job.
Yeah, that's true. And, a lot of times when people get married, especially women sometimes, not all women, but, we think we get married, you're taking that person's last name, everything going to be perfect and all of that. But let me say, although you're going to go through a lot of things and it's going to seem like there's going to be bad times, there'll always be good times as long as you stick it out and work together within that.
Yep, you have to work together. That's the key. Compromising and sticking together no matter what.
Definitely compromising, because I think besides communication, that is one of the key factors in keeping the marriage together is compromising, because sometimes you have to do things that to please your partner that you may not want to do.
Nah, it's going to be a few times. Sometimes it feel like it's going to be more one-sided than the other, but when you think about it, it kind of go hand in hand. Sometimes she had to compromise with me and I had to compromise with her. Just certain times you don't know when you're going to have to compromise, but just be prepared for it.
Right. And I think when you're in a season and a phase of dating, especially when you're, learning about that person and getting to know them, you definitely go through a lot of things to build that relationship and build that trust within those people. But nobody really ever tells you all the things you're really going to go through in a marriage until you get into one.
Nah, you definitely, trust me, this thing right here is something you have to go through yourself. Yeah. And it's like having experience.
Right.
You have to have that experience to get through it. Some people don't get through the experience. And, that's why I said with us still being together 11 years in, we done definitely went through those experiences.
Right.
And we done definitely came out on the other side of those.
Right, and it's definitely a blessing to even just make it as far, especially being young, number one, because there's always a statistic that getting married young, sometimes you're not going to make it into a long marriage because there are going to be a lot of issues. But if you continue to definitely pray about things and definitely to learn who you are and learn who your partner is, it'll definitely take you a long way.
No, yeah, it definitely will, Definitely just keeping your faith in God and just knowing that, you made a commitment to God
first
to do the best that you can from your end. you know, and don't think about the other end. Just
Right.
do the best that you can
Every
to make the marriage the best it can be. And I promise you, that alone would make everything much better. Trust me.
Right.
Less worrying, less stressing, and just, you know, yeah, basically that part.
That part, yeah. I completely agree with what he said. Along the way, it's just a learning process. It's always a learning process. It's a journey. But I think as the years go, for me personally, it's gotten easier. And I think because we're at a phase of life where we have pretty much grown up together, that we're able to just get through things a whole lot quicker and a whole lot easier without feeling so frustrated.
Yeah, because like we said, being young and then having to experience those things at a very young age,
Right.
it just right now it makes us so much like wiser in different obstacles we may face. You know, some things we see, we be like, oh, you know, some people at our age, they don't even go through the stuff that we done been through.
Right.
And to know that when we see that and we know how to face it, we know how to overcome it, basically make our bond even stronger.
Right. And I think a lot of times when you're getting older and you're becoming even more seasoned into your marriage, you still have to do things like dates. You still have to be with that person all the time enough to continue to make the marriage grow, because a lot of times some people don't think, well, and this is just my opinion, some people think that when they get married that they don't have to put full force into still dating their spouse. But let me tell you, dating is still very important in a marriage.
Yeah, you definitely have to keep it kind of fresh almost. You know, you can't get you can't get caught up into the day-to-day, and it's very easy for us as individuals to get caught up in the day-to-day, working every day, and then, you know, you got your personal goals you want to do, and you got chores you need to do. If you got kids, you got to take care of them, make sure they have what they have. And you definitely sometimes may get caught up in there, but a lot of times you kind of need to set yourself in stone and be like, look, I got a spouse I need to tend to. I need to make sure that we going out and you know, date on like you said, on dates, go to the movies sometime, go out to eat anything.
Yeah,
you know.
we're very good at doing like just day dates. You know, sometime when our son is in school, we'll do that just to spend some time together, because we've been working so much or just been busy with regular life stuff. So
yeah, you definitely need to know each other headspace, see where they at, because you know, you never know. You may think everything is fine, and your spouse can be just in, you know, turmoil, so it definitely get to make time to sit down with your spouse and make sure that you get to know where they at.
Right. So, you know, next we're just going to tell y'all a little bit about us personally, about where we're from. So I'm from a town called Griffin, Georgia. It's probably about, I'm going to say 30 miles south of Atlanta. Not too small, but small enough. I'm born and raised there. All my family is there. So, yeah, that's pretty much where my background comes from. A little bit of city, but a little bit of country at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit more city than country. Where I'm from. You know, I'm dead country. You know, I'm from Crawfordville, Georgia, small town. I would say between Athens and Augusta. Close-knit community. It's about 12 to 1,500 people in the whole county, but everybody know everybody type, you know, vibe. You know, it's a good vibe to have, though, because it's close-knit. So, yeah, that's where I'm from. Very country.
And I think when, like, growing up somewhere like that in very, like, close-knit community, I really feel like it shows, like, within, like, your children when you raise them, because I feel like my husband has, like, super duper good manners to, like, just other people in general, like, just holding the door open for people at the store, although he used to get offended by that because in his hometown that's a thing to do, but other places, you know, people may take that a little offensive or just don't say thank you.
Yeah, you know, I'm not used. You know, somebody do something for you, say thank you. So, you know, when you move and go to other places and you see people don't have that same attitude towards that, yeah, it get frustrating at first.
Especially when you come from a small city and then you move to like a city where we live now, pretty big. So, with that said, you know, basically, we just met through like a mutual friend, and in our next episode, we'll go more into our dating phase, about how we met, who we met through and how we went about dating. So I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, basically we like she said, we met at a kickback card party,
Right.
just randomly,
Right.
Back then it was more face to face interaction,
Right.
more than it is now. But
Right.
yeah, that's how we met. Not to go into far into detail,
Right.
Because y'all got to come back next episode for that.
Right. Well, because, dating now, like, people date a lot on the internet. Not that anything's wrong with that. I don't think anything wrong with it. But when we were dating, it was more like, like, give me your phone number, let me call you. And now it's more like, send me a DM.
More
DM
like
me.
swipe left, swipe
Swipe
right.
right.
It's more of a swiping game right now than
Right.
anything. And it's definitely different from when we first started talking to now. So
Right.
I understand how sometimes the competition can be so, out there
Right.
to try to find the right one. But, you just have to be patient sometimes. And trust me,
Yeah.
you be patient, the right one will come through.
I think so too, and I think like sometimes it's a journey, and people don't realize that they have to go through a phase of dating to meet a person that they want to meet. Although we really didn't experience that part, but I think definitely dating is very much important in getting to know the person that you want to like be with like forever, and marry.
Yeah, you definitely have to be patient. It's you definitely shouldn't rush into anything,
Right.
because you have to take your time. It's almost like testing the waters, as they call it.
Right.
You don't just jump in head first, not knowing how deep it is. You gotta, maybe stick your toe in that guy. You know what I'm saying? See, I can handle this. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You definitely gotta be patient and test the waters and don't rush into anything. Because once you take your time with anything, you definitely gonna come out on a good end of it.
Right. That's true. So, with that being said, like always stick it out. Everything in life is a process. Relationships, marriage, getting on the job, even everything is always a process. But a lot of times I've learned that you just have to enjoy the journey along the way.
Yeah, you definitely have to enjoy it and not take it for granted. Enjoy every second of it, and
Every moment.
because time flies, and before you know it, it be gone sometimes.
Right.
You definitely have to live in the moment. When they say plan for the future, but live in the moment at the same time, you definitely got to do that.
Right. I agree. So we're going to just go ahead and like wrap up this first episode. Thank you guys so much. We're so thankful for anybody that has asked us about it over the last couple of weeks. For anybody that's wanted to know about it, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all for coming through and just lending your ear just to listen to us, and just make sure you come back next week, next episode, and
Next Saturday at noon, same time.
Same time. Do not forget, put a notification in your phone or something,
Right.
and make sure you be back, because we're gonna get into some more deep topics
Right.
every single week. So
Right.
hopefully you don't forget. And we'll see y'all next week.
And make sure y'all follow us on all our social media platforms,
Right,
on our
right.
Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram,
Even
our
our
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yes, at Short Talk Pod. So yeah, follow us. And
Follow
we'll
us.
catch y'all at the next episode.
No doubt.
All right, we out.